Today's market update, what we want to show you has been a trend that's been going on probably for 6 months now. The top line there is total sales. We've got it right up until right now. I pulled these off of the CREB website yesterday. So up until yesterday, April to date, sales are down almost 25% compared to April of last year. That's what we've been seeing, that sales volume has been dropping for the last 6 months as compared to the year before. Active listings, you can see they're up over 100%. Now, this is massive for real estate investors out there. Last year at this time, there were 2,900 active listings. I mean, you can see on this line right here, there are over 6,000 active listings. We've been waiting for this. Traditional realtors are like, oh man, there's too much competition out there. My sellers won't get what they want. For us, we're like, yes, our buyers can finally go out there. They can, offer lower than what the list price is, and they can get a great deal on a property.
Yeah, but we got to stress to you guys, the good properties still go into multiple offers. We cannot believe this. We cannot. I went up to Ranchlands on Saturday. I was with one of our investors, Cheyenne. He's buying his third suited property in less than a year.
Yeah, less than a year.
Less than a year. So this is his third property. And you know what? I said we had to cut it off because we needed to do work in there. And so we cut it off at 620,000, got listed for 600. It sold unconditional in that day for 650,000. So we have to stress that we don't get emotional. That's fine. We run our numbers. We know that with that property, if we bought it for 620 and then we only had a $30,000 budget because we don't want to go over 650,000 because it just ruins all the numbers. But we had to pull out of the deal. We didn't even put an offer in because we knew it was going to go over. But what I'm trying to say is, even with 6,100? Yep, 6,089 properties. There is a lot of crap out there. We got to be honest. It's either crap or they're overpriced, either or. So, and then what we like to do with our clients is we like to show you the crap. Okay, we like to actually educate you and show you what that's all about. So when a good one comes on, you can make that decision, because that's what you have to do, Tim, in this market, even with 6,000 listings. When you have 6,000 listings in Calgary, whenever we've had it, Tim, over the years, and that used to be really the standard in Calgary.
Yeah, that was a balanced market.
Yeah, for about 10, 12 years we've had that, right? What that looked like normally, just for you guys to know, is Tim and I would have a client, would meet at the office. We always meet at our office, or we meet at the property, either or. And then we would go out and show you 3 or 4 properties. You know? No, it's still not happening. We're just running out to see the one property and then making a decision if we're going to buy it or not. So even though you see all of that, depending which segment of the market, like the condo market, there's a lot. In the townhouse market, Tim, you probably have more supply, which would be better.
Yep.
And we believe the townhouse market is just going to continue to go up because the detached and semi-detached market has gone up so much that the affordability price point for the majority of the population in Calgary, in the starter home market, is not a starter home anymore. It's a townhouse.
Yeah.
So that is going to drive 2 things: the starter market, homes, and Tim, we're in Coach Hill. We just listed one for 685. That is a perfect example of a starter home. Double car garage. It's 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, it's a small 2-story. Used to be below a starter home.
Yeah.
10, 20 years ago.
Now that's a starter home on the west side. Those types of properties anywhere in the city, starter homes, are going to continue to go up because starter homes in brand new communities with an unfinished basement start at 750. So if you can get a starter home under 700, you're going to win all day long. And then the townhouse market, geez, they've gone from 400, 450, 550. You're just going to see them continue because everything else is going to be expensive.
Yeah, and the final line we're going to look at is that average price that we've been keeping an eye on over and over all the time. We're still at 6.5% over last year. So this is actually increasing now. So the average price percentage-wise is actually increasing month after month after month. Now, that is part and parcel with what we talked about earlier, is the increase in population and not enough new builds going on. Even though there's a lot of purpose-built rentals going on online, there's not a lot of purpose-built homeowner-occupied properties being built. Not enough. There's a lot, but there's not enough. So you're seeing the average price go up and up and up.
Yeah, and so for the new people out there, the purpose-built rentals. So when you see those small apartment buildings or any apartment buildings being built, 60% of those are purpose-built rental apartment buildings. So yeah, that's what flooded the rental market. We went from having a balanced rental market to having 8,000 rental properties out there. So that has brought prices down. But if you buy the right properties, like townhouses are in demand, suited properties in demand because if you go get a one-bedroom condo downtown, it starts at about 1,900, where a basement suite that could have two bedrooms, you could have partial backyard, you could have, a tenant could have their own laundry too, a dishwasher.
And you're not going up 30 flights
Yeah.
with your groceries. You can just walk right in the door and
Yeah.
you're sweet.
And if you have a pet, we didn't realize this because there's a lot of renters and we're buying them properties now and they're like, why are you moving? They're like, we're on the 27th floor at a Riva and someone has to go walk the dog.
Yeah, we see this. We look outside these windows behind us every day, and there's a dog park about 2 blocks down, and people are walking their dogs coming from, like as I said, the 23rd floor of a building, and they got to walk their dog all the way to that dog park every day.
We didn't realize this was a problem. So these people would rather live in a basement suite. And so what we're doing now is we're helping our clients find suited properties, or not even suited properties, and we're putting suites in just because there's not enough suited properties for sale. So we're just helping our clients do that, which is increasing the value by $50,000-$60,000 in some cases. And majority of the basement suites that we're putting in, if it's a finished area down there already, meaning a bedroom or two and a bathroom and a living area, it's costing between 40 and 50,000, depending on the specs, of course, but 40 to 50 to 55,000 to put in a legal suite.
And you can get government grants to cover up to 10 grand of that. So it's very, very reasonable to put a suite in.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So for people out there that are new, just starting out, or kind of got stuck financing wise, their banks refused them another mortgage. Normally we have Danielle DeMarco, our real estate investment mortgage specialist, on. She's busy this evening, but her contact number is here and her email. If you need advice on your current mortgages, if you want to do a refi, if you want to get that investment property mortgage, she is the go-to mortgage broker. We find that she can work out problems that, mortgage brokers at the banks, they'll look at it and they'll look at your finance and they'll say, no way. Well, Danielle can work magic getting people mortgages.
Yeah. And, that's why another reason why we're helping people legalize their basement suites, because the legal basement suite actually helps you buy your next property. Okay. And Danielle just doesn't go out and get you a mortgage and throw you into something. She'll work out exactly what limit of a refinance you should go up to, so the rent still cover the cost on property number one, so you could get property number two and not be stressed about it. So you need to work with the pros. We've been working with Danielle since 2006. She is investment focused, and she doesn't take no for an answer.
Okay, so that's our market report for this week. As you can see, positive numbers as far as average price goes. So what that means is anybody who has owned or is looking to purchase, once you get in the market, guess what? You're going to reap those positive numbers from appreciation in Calgary.